You're welcome here if you're she, he, we or they. You're welcome here if you're gay, straight or working it out. You're welcome here if you're in a relationship, single, divorced or widowed. You are welcome here if you're inked, pierced, both or neither.
You're welcome here if you're young.
Or young at heart.
You're welcome here if your neurons like to be typical or like to be spicy. You're welcome here if you're more Christian than Collins and Witch Hazel, or haven't got the whole faith thing yet.
You are welcome here if you're living on a prayer or could use a prayer right now. You are welcome here if you've got it all sorted or if you've got doubts. You are welcome here.
Hello, good evening, bonsoir, bienvenue, welcome, and I am. This is another's, let us gather. As moon rises, the sun slips sight, begins the ritual of this night. For those convinced their path is right. Gathered from north, south, east and west, yet called at another's behest, those treading the path that is left. From near and far come as you are to this place and embrace this space as darker hue embraces you. Of water, spirit, earth and fire, confessing the sins of empire, we come with our wounds and desire. Sensing that we are not alone, drawn to the flame that guides us home, for here you, me and yet to be. Importance and signs of these times, for the sake of all those maligned, is yet the home of the divine. Hi, Isabel. Hope you're all right. Apologies for last week. It's been a bit full on, but I hope everyone is okay. It'd be really good to catch up and find out how well your last 2 weeks have been. Hopefully, there's been some positive stuff in the midst of all that might be going on for you. So I'd love to hear what has rocked your world, rocked like socks in a tumble dryer, and it's made you grateful, hopeful, energized, feeling thankful, so thankful that you want to say it in Viking, Old Norse, because it is more Viking, therefore more metal, to say Tusen Tak. Please do let us know in a comment on YouTube and Twitter. No, not Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Yes. Angela.
too? Shall we be downcast too? Or stand shield to shield, together in the field? We refuse to yield. Steadfastly holding the line, full of wings in eternity's time. We keep pressing forward until the last, and our cry shall be forever. Truth and time.
Truth and Jack, innit? That's fantastic to hear as well. I'm glad it was really good. And tickets for next year already. Brilliant. And not so good. Ouch. Oh, man. Was it like some sort of species that's not usually here, but with warmer weather and climate and stuff? Is it, or is it a particularly cheesed off house spider like Margaret in our garage, who lives in the hose pipe? I don't know which house it moved from and how long she's been living in the hose pipe. I think she's still in the hose pipe. I don't intend to find out. I hope that you get well soon. That sounds horrible. Excellent. All right, dude. How you doing? Good to be with you. And yeah, Angela. I didn't like to assume. So right, cool. And what a lovely turn of phrase, reverting to your Iron Maiden name. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Just may all life in all its fullness be yours. And good to be with you, Paul. I was trying to think, what am I thankful for? I suppose lots of things. I'm thankful, having had a sneak peek at the new monthly, what's this called? Metal Methodist, that's it. Metal Methodist Ko-fi newsletter. If you want to find out more about that, I shall pop a link in. So just a way of kind of supporting this if you feel able to, or moved to, or want to. People who sign up, there's a kind of newsletter, so having some sneak peek at that. That is coming your way. Thank you to those who have signed up, and that contains some exciting news, including some amazing artwork that we'll be able to share soon as well, and some new lyric stuff, just preparations for Feed Generate 2025, which I think it's this weekend that the Reform Party conference is being held there. Apparently the Reform Party have a budget for pyrotechnics. That's how metal they are. So hopefully it'll all be cleaned up by the time Free Generate arrive. So that'll be nice. Spider update. Right. Ooh, that's not cool. No, that isn't. Crikey. I mean, I know, like, watching random things on YouTube, and kind of, is it Australia that's got the largest bank or thing of venom in fridges, just so that they can ship it all over the world where people get bitten? Because, I cannot get my head around, which maybe we have to, and maybe you are going to lead the way. Well, with a sort of, I can lend you my, you could be our sort of brush trial kind of, leader. I'll lend you me Notts County Cricket Club hat, which will keep the sun off. Not so much for spiders, but at least you get a bit of warning when they come down there. You can go, ooh, like that. But I hope that gets better soon. So thank you, good people, for sharing. And feel free, if you're watching later on, catching up, to post a comment as well here on Facebook or YouTube, what's kind of rocks your world. But thank you, all those with us at the moment, for sharing what this day has made Yow say. Yeah, do you know what? I might have to change my tortoise's name now. So around the time of my haircut, I got a tortoise. I've been struggling for a name, so she's currently called Beryl, and we think she's female. And if we turn out to be wrong in about another 5 years, it'll just be called Errol. But Delilah, oh no, we should have done that. To misquote a famous song, I fought the lawnmower and the lawnmower won. As a friend said to me, you've clearly had a weight taken off your mind, the weight lifted from your mind. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing it, partly because my lovely children like to sort of point out how large my kind of sunroof and solar panel might be getting. So I thought I'd have a proper good look, and it turned out it's I'm not sure it's any less or more than it was before I grew it 5 years ago, the last time. So yeah, because I didn't want to look like a member of the Grumbleweeds, for those who used to watch Saturday night television in the UK or the BBC or Pebble Mill at 1 o'clock during the daytime. Anyway, sort of comedy sort of club pub rock band. But there's a guy in there who looked like the boss hog from Dukes of Hazzard, sort of completely bald here and boom, hair. A bit like Andy Zaltzman, actually. I mean, he rocks it. He totally rocks it. But I'm not sure I could. So, but Delilah would have been a brilliant name. Oh, man, that's genius. That's genius. That's I'll have to go and tell the family we're changing the name of this tortoise. Just regarding myself how to press these buttons. Well, you know, it's if I turn to the side like this, I put my bleed tint on. Is that it's well, and it's interesting. I mean, I've never had long hair, but kind of noticing the evolution of delirious hairstyles. I think these sort of, I think Martin Smith was at Big Church Weekend thing, and also Def Leppard. I'd be interested. I think there was news of a possible Def Leppard tour, but I know sort of various members' hair have kind of got shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and further and further back. It's like, how did you get that massive wave in your hair? It just waves itself goodbye. Yeah. So, and maybe, sadly, there have been things this week that have not rocked and have been heavy, not in a cool metal way. So a chance just to acknowledge any of that, if it's helpful, to get it out for a comment, respecting your own privacy, confidentiality, etc., and those of others. But particularly thinking maybe spider bites will be absolutely up there for those who've been through that. Ugh, gosh. But a chance, if there's anything we want to acknowledge, then we can do so now. Anybody else did a mistake there? Yeah. Why have I put these in a different order? Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. But before we do it, I'll just go back to... oh, goodness me, what's going on here? Where's the comment button? Comment, there. So I missed that one. Sorry, Angela. Yes, absolutely. 2 days annual leave. Hey, well, nice one. So I think we're there on the Saturday. I think we're in the sound studio at 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock. And then what else is... Yeah, and I think staying and then coming back first thing. Yeah, so that sounds very wise. Thank you, Paul. That is very helpful. So yeah, I should now press the right thing and leave your comment up there while we kind of just share anything that's on our minds, on our hearts, that's difficult or we know about. But actually, yes, I think it got to the point where you couldn't buy yourself a nice hairbrush. Someone's napped it. You bought yourself like a lifetime supply of hair ties. Nope, they've gone again. So there is that, and I have not. Well, you see, there must be some solar panel action going on because I have not had to clean the plug out so much in the shower since the haircut. Let's put it that way. Yes. So yeah. Thank you, Paul. So yeah, just if people can share stuff that is difficult, and yeah, that sense of we're not on our own. We support each other, we uphold each other, and best of all, I believe the divine, the other, the all-parent, love, God, best of all, that is with us. This one.
As the light fades from sight, all is lost into darkest night. Sticks and stones, all surrounded to kings and thrones.
So absolutely, thinking of whether it's within ourselves, within our family units, in whatever shape and form they are, yeah, within ourselves. Speaking of people I know who've really started medication for ADHD, and how in some way the turning down of the inner stuff has been kind of releasing and liberating, but thinking, of course, of Ukraine, well, just the entire world, isn't it? It feels like, anyway, at the minute, still, yeah, and yeah, absolutely, Tina, loved you all, and I hope it went well, and you're settled, and it's a place of peace and growth and joy, and for all of you. And the Methodist Church, it's back to school in September, so new Methodist year starts, and it's a time where people have been with particular communities as deacons or presbyters, kind of, if they're moving, move, and then start on the 1st of September. So all of that, new relationships, as well as perhaps sense of mourning and grief for having moved, all those things, as well as hopefully a sense of working together to support kind of local communities. So and particularly where there are children involved who perhaps wouldn't necessarily choose to be doing that. And hope you have a good evening then, Isabel, and catch you later. Hope it's all good with the visitors. Hope it's good visitors, not the ones you sort of go quick, shut the curtains, turn the light off. Not that I do that. Gisela, hello. I because you were near me recently, and I'm ever so sorry that coincided with not feeling great. So I'm sorry for not reaching out, because I think I may have been in the same town as you that day before I saw that that's where you were, having just got home from being potentially where you were. Like, oh no! But next time. Greetings, Patrick. So for peace, for whatever it is that we are carrying, from spider bites to moving to new stages and phases in life, including the journey from death into life. Let's just acknowledge all those things and lay down and let go of what we need to, and to kind of put into the hands of each other, and I believe the divine, those things that are heavy and can just fill our minds up and make us kind of anxious and things. So actually, that we're not carrying it all on our own. So let's share in these words.
The principalities and will to power, the worms from within my own darkest hour. I confess all the regrets and the regrets, the burdens and fears, the lament and the tears. I lay them down.
And I believe, as we do, that the all-parent, the divine love, God, comes running out to meet us in the person of Jesus, the original long-haired, bearded dude from Nazareth, who didn't fight a lawnmower and a lawnmower won, saying, "Come to me, all you are weary and heavy laden, even if you don't like Iron Maiden, and I will give you rest. May rest and peace be yours and with those whom you care about and those who care about you and the world, whatever way you need that to be tonight." I just had a complete blank there. I'm so sorry. The sense of perhaps new beginnings, new chapters, relief, whatever it is, just a chance to, I guess, acknowledge that and celebrate it. As we do this.
the Savior's blood. Died he for me, who caused his pain, for me who him to death pursued. Amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God, shouldst die for me? Amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God, shouldst die for me? 'Tis a mystery, all the immortal dies. Who can explore his strange design? In vain the firstborn seraph tries to sound the depths of love divine. 'Tis mercy, all let earth adore. Let angel minds inquire no more. 'Tis mercy, all let earth adore. Let angel minds inquire no more. He left his father's throne above, so free, so infinite his grace. Emptied himself of all but love, and bled for Adam's helpless race. 'Tis mercy, all immense and free, for oh my God, it found out me. 'Tis mercy, all immense and free, for oh my God, it found out me. Spirit lay, fast bound in sin and nature's night. Thine eye diffuse the quickening ray. I walk the dungeon flame with light. My chains fell off, my heart was free, and I rose when forth. Follow thee, my chains fell off, my heart was free. I rose when forth and followed thee. No condemnation now I dread, Jesus and all in Him is mine. Alive in Him I live in head, and clothed in righteousness divine. Bold I approach the eternal throne, and claim the crown through Christ my own. Bold I approach the eternal throne, and claim the crown through Christ my own. Bold I approach the eternal throne, and claim the crown through Christ my own.
So there. Just looking at the time. Shall we have a redo? Shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Yeah. And now, a reading from the Bible. What is metal? The Metal Bible. Say metal. It's made of paper. And I can't find the thing with the Metal Bible on. Oh, here it is. Made of paper. Yes, there we are. So a reading. This is from Luke 14, and it's 25 to 33. Looking at it going, oh man, this is not very easy. Anyway, never mind. So 14, 25 to 33, Luke. I mean, the book of Luke, the gospel in the Bible, not Luke. Look at that in a sort of Yorkshire way. So is that Yorkshire? Yes, Hild, I did. You appeared and you blinded me with this light. Is it your halo? Yeah. I don't know, I'm speaking to my picture of Hill like I speak to my tortoise. That's a bit upsetting. Anyway, Luke 14, 25 to 33, the cost of discipleship. How much each? Now, large crowds, not just crowds, large crowds were traveling with him, and he turned and said to them, whoever comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, and even life itself cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry the cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. For which of you intending to build a tower does not first sit down and estimate the cost to see whether they have enough money to complete it? Otherwise, when he's laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it will begin to ridicule him, going, oh, look at your ridiculous tower that's leaning. And it's still even made of pizza. Yeah. Therefore, none of you can become my disciples if you don't give up all your possessions. So I guess its broadest sense, it's about taking seriously, I guess, faith and the stuff that we, if there's anything about God, Jesus, that in any way speaks to us, then it's about responding to that, but actually acknowledging, not in a have to pay your dues, it costs £3.50 to get in sort of thing, but actually it's a serious thing. So on Sunday, one of my churches, physical on-site churches, has a covenant service, which in the Methodist Church is a thing developed by John Wesley, from Harry Potter, from England in the 18th century, who developed this prayer, particularly used at New Year's Eve as a service to kind of convince people not to spend all of the New Year's Eve and all of the money at the start of the New Year in the pub, but to opt for somewhere else to kind of just to renew that sense of faith and hope, but to kind of say that, if you're serious about it, then God is serious about you, and if you say yes to this thing, God will actually, absolutely want to kind of work through you for justice and for peace and for hope and for wholeness and all those things. So, think seriously. If you're going to say yes, just think about it, and take it seriously. And that means, that faith decision of choosing life in the sort of train spotting one marketing, but choosing life, choosing love, choosing justice comes with consequences. Turning up on a protest comes with potential risk and consequences, but sometimes standing up, evil thrives where good people choose to do nothing, but the doing something is sometimes a courageous and costly thing. If we're serious about it, then let's kind of bear that in mind. So we've got this covenant service where we remember that the things that are difficult in terms of making the choice about where we spend our money and our time and our resources and our energy, and the things that we focus on may not be what others are focusing on, and that can, like building the tower, cause a bit of ridicule or a bit of what you like, and maybe moving this religious mumbo jumbo, or all of that. Kind of standing for what you believe in. But the point of that covenant service that we're having on Sunday, and I guess that reading brings it out, is that actually following Jesus, actually at the same time, we're not doing it in our own strength. We're not having to just use our own willpower to consistently do what we think is the right thing, and not do the things we know that are harmful to ourselves or to other people, and that can be destructive and addictive and all those things. But I speak from experience that trying to do that in your own strength, and if you're struggling with something, you get talking therapy support, you go to see a medical doctor, you go and you seek help and you get support, and it's the support of those around you who enable you to take it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. Same with God, that actually we don't have to do it on our own or in our own strength, that actually we do it in God's strength, in the power of God's love, and knowing that actually it says that Jesus has overcome the world, overcome all the stuff that puts money and status and power and the individual above all else, and allows children to be massacred, and allows acts of horrendous terror to be seen as justified. That actually God has overcome that in Jesus, and so therefore those things, including the things that we struggle with to prioritize that we know we should, that actually the draw of all those things that take us away from what is good and just and pure and beautiful, the draw away from that, all those draw of that God has overcome, and so it gives us that power and that strength in this thing called the Holy Spirit. And you know what? It's a spirit. But you don't even end up drunk. It says so in the Bible. Are they drunk? No, no, they're not. They're good Methodists. No, they are experiencing God, and they're doing stuff that they never thought they could do. Ordinary people doing like salt of the earth with their hands, hard graft, and yet there they are speaking in languages they've never spoken before, talking about welcome and about inclusion and about love and about justice, and people go, blimey, this is exciting. So that kind of didn't make any sense. I think I guess, have you experienced ways in which kind of following Jesus has come at a cost? What's helped you in those moments? Is it faith, or is it other people? And if you're in that place now going, I'm really struggling with this, and I don't want to be doing this, or focusing on that, I want to do this, it feels like the right thing, this is what I want to focus on, there's all this stuff that's kind of, I'm struggling with it. What helps you? Does knowing you're part of something, a community where you can share stuff, where you can feel supported, help you kind of day by day? So I'm really struggling in a minute. Can you just read it, whether you're someone who prays or not, can just knowing somebody's thinking about you is really helpful, I think. Something you're not on your own, and actually people care enough to kind of ask how you're doing as well, and kind of check in and check up. So thank you, Paul. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Yeah, that's cool. That's it's not of interest. It's not Rob, is it? Bill, my communist friend. But no, absolutely, and I think there is so much, and I'm not again. Social media is terrible. Well, he says on social media streaming, but whether it's the fast food and the McDonaldization of society, and the fact that the seats are tilted slightly forward, so you have to be quicker. So yes, they're selling you food. Yes, it's nutritional, but also it's money. It's money. The more we get, the faster we can turn it around. The more we get. In the same way that everything can be used to kind of tempt us with things that are quick and easy, and and yeah, I mean, I had some conversations recently with people who they kind of say, "Oh, such and such has happened." Has it? How did you? Well, it was on X, whatever. Not X. Sorry, sorry. Rocket. But something kind of comes. No, I've just completely ADHD myself there. I have no idea what I'm about. So we're bombarded with stuff that's trying to flog us, stuff that's trying to get our attention. Usually, there's money involved somewhere, or selling data, or, whatever. And who do we know? We've gone to that age of we don't. We're anti-expert. Because bleaching code is a good idea. And so, yeah, we're open to anything. And how do we check those things out? In the same way, I guess, and I went through this, growing up in church, going to Sunday school, and only when I started to explore things myself and find out and do some more research, did I go, wait a minute, some of this doesn't at all. And so, yeah, let's not necessarily take everything at face value, and that includes faith, and whatever faith that actually, just because someone says, including me, yeah, this is what I believe, what I think, and if through research and thoughtfulness and all good conscience, someone comes to a different decision, then there's got to be some respect there. But yeah, it's but the temptation to look for easy answers and for someone there to offer that solution for a certain amount of money that will sort it all out, except somehow in my experience it never does. It usually might delay things, might make things better in the short term, but in the long term, I said it doesn't really solve anything. Potentially things come back and potentially come back worse. So Andrew's church also having your covenant service. Yeah, no, it is. I was busy trying to download the Metal Methodist Covenant Prayer, what Kate wrote, but the computer's going too slow. Pedal faster, tortoise. Mark, hello, my friend, and also thank you. I had a sneak peek with Kate of what you have produced. Amazing. Yeah. So I'm just going to ask you something. But no pressure to. But yeah, I think it's awesome. Thank you so much. So Mark's saying, if in my time of difficulty, it's knowing I look to the ultimate path, strength, and faith. Yeah. Because fact, it's not our. So I've got doing this service on Sunday, and we're thinking about seeking, and so I've kind of. And it's a slightly different service, and for some reason, maybe it's the autistic bit. Kind of going, oh, I'm not sure. It's not my church, so I'm going, well, I'm not sure where the boundaries are and what's okay and what's not, and I repeatedly do something there and go, this is terrible, this and so this is about seeking, and so I spent a lot of time kind of going, I don't know what to do with this topic, and I've spent a day on it, and it was only by the end of it that I kind of got to the conclusion that actually seeking in a faith perspective, it's kind of we don't have to seek. It's not a striving. There's so much time, like I was doing, striving away, trying to get some sort of decent thing to say. And it was going terribly, and it was kind of, well, actually, maybe stop trying, maybe stop striving, and just let go and let God, as the saying goes. And suddenly this kind of penny dropped that actually, if people are seeking for God, actually God's already there. Don't have to seek, don't have to strive, just have to turn around. I'm thinking about Mary at the tomb of Jesus, and even the grief and the struggle and the weeping and the difficult times. In that moment, she hears Jesus say her name, and she turns around. She recognizes him by the way he says it, because he's there. He's there, and he knows you, and he knows us, and he knows her, and just hearing that voice and responding to it. Going, yes, please help. Put it on you. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mark. That's yeah. Okay, cool. See, so I don't know then. That's brilliant. Cool. I should look out for them then. And I'm just saying, even in your darkest times, God has been with you and brought you through. Yes. Yeah, yeah, and I think it can go in one or two ways, can't it? When it's difficult, you kind of do the Job thing. Well, I do, and kind of go, "Oh, blimey!" Because it's slightly different because the premise of Job is that a specific embodiment of Satan is a can I tempt Job? Can I? And that raises all sorts of issues about determination and various things. But actually, Job is somebody who suffers a lot and has sought to live a good life. That's what I think perhaps most of us do. And you go, why's all this? Oh man, what blimey, why do these terrible things keep happening to somebody who seems to be a good person, and other people seem to do horrendous stuff and get away with it, don't seem to suffer any consequence? This is it's unjust. I see the ADHD kicking back in. Justice. But yeah. So either we kind of the problem of suffering, the question of suffering and evil in the world. If God's God and this all-powerful thing, when what's going on? Why's God allowing it? Just sort it out. What are you doing? Therefore, there can't be a God, right? Or maybe it's sort of the thing of when we get to the end of our cope and our rope and we've run out of spoons, and that sense of loss of control, actually, maybe that's only when we are in a real position to go, I'm handing it over. I cannot do this anymore. And maybe that allows us to hear Jesus saying, Angela, James, whoever, Mary, and I've been here all along, but just turn and give it to me. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you very much, sir. So, yeah, God's bike and motorcycles and misfits. Not motorcycles and misfits. That's a whole different Chatsworth place. It's not a real book. No, thank you. I shall look out for that. God's biker. Thank you. I'm just going to write that down. Yeah, so I guess whether we go to church, whether we say a covenant prayer now, or sometimes it happens at New Year, but just that thing of day by day choosing of the cost, the tiredness sometimes, the unpopularity, the judgment, the whatever it is, the things that we're not doing that we'd probably like to do, whether they're good for us or not. But that decision, day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, to do the better thing, to do the beautiful thing, to do the loving thing, to do the just thing. To recognise the cost in that. But actually, as you're all saying, we don't do it in our own strength, and we're not on our own. So yeah, thank you. Just aware of time, having waffled on. Not you, me waffling. But yeah, just wonder if we thinking about the things we mentioned earlier on, from spider bites to the desperate need for peace in the world and within ourselves. Just kind of offer an offering, make an offering to the all-parent, which I guess has those words in about, it's a prayer that helps us. Maybe that's why Jesus says, I'm going to teach you how to pray, because when you are struggling or when you're trying to do the right thing, and when it feels like it's costly, you're not sure it's a cost you can bear, then, and you don't know how to pray because you don't know where God is in that moment, use these words. And yeah, I think in the sort of Methodist version as well, it's kind of, it's asking for that help and recognizing the cost. Yeah, thank you, Paul. Whatever we're going through, however dark, however bad, however hard, he's there. Yeah, and we are going. Sorry, and where we are going is already at the end. He will not abandon us. Yeah, I have overcome the world, and the peace be with you. Do not be afraid, for I am with you even to the end of the age and beyond. And yeah, and then we're going to talk about, I guess, the supernatural in the Bible. It's a book by Matt Arnold that I'm still kind of reading. Well, half rereading now. I want to kind of process it and take it in. and talking about Psalm 23. And I guess maybe because of the Credibility theme tune, maybe because of it's one that always you see on TV if it's a funeral scene, that people are people of faith and you're doing a funeral, and it's often the reading that people want. And it's this kind of, talks about, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil. And it talks about, you prepare a table before me, you anoint my head with oil. And it's very clear that this isn't not just God's with you when it's tough, but actually even in death, even through death, God's there. God's there, and God anoints you, and so God is everywhere and always, and with us, and nothing, as it says in Romans, nothing can separate us from that. Not things on earth, things in heaven, whatever that is when we experience it. Not powers and rulers and people with nuclear buttons and people with bombs. Nothing overcomes or separates us from love. It has already won. Yeah. So let us make this offering to the All-Parent.
To the one in whom all people and all creation have their being, may your kingdom come, your will be done, as above, so below. Sustain us for this day. Show us grace as we seek to show grace to those we feel have wronged us. Save us from the worst that is within us and within this world. For the kingdom, the power and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. see. Nothing can separate you from me. Not the lies that tied you for so long. Now this is your story. This is your song. The highest mountain, the deepest sea. Nothing can separate you from me. Not the lies that tied you for so long. Now this is your story, and this is your song. This is our story, this is our song. We belong. This is our story, this is our song. We belong. This is our story, this is our song. We belong.
Indeed so. And also, it's the title of the Methodist Prayer Handbook for the Methodist year of 25-26. So get your copies at Methodist Publishing. Google Methodist Publishing. Whoops. See this link. And now, specifically for Angela, but everyone else as well. Notices. So notice thing going across the bottom. If you want to check that out, Ko-fi, and feel able to support, that helps with expenses of going to places and doing things and producing things and licenses, and whether it's booklets, books that we're producing, all those things. It helps and helps pay some wages as well, particularly thinking planning ahead. So I commend that to you, but absolutely no pressure. You can chuck in a quid or something, buy Harold a cup of tea. Yes, please. All right, you're covered by that, look. Oh dear, you'd be a bit taller, Hill. Put your new rocks on. There you are. Right. Important notice, on the 25th, Thursday the 25th of September, at 7 o'clock, at most till 8 o'clock, would like to invite people to for those who pray, to basically a prayer thing around Methodist, around kind of discerning, kind of working out, sharing what we're doing, sharing what some of the plans are, hearing people's views, but kind of as we said tonight, not doing that in our own strength, but sharing it with other people and praying to a higher power, to kind of, because it's all right thinking you're doing this, but is that us deciding that, me deciding that? Is that completely off what actually we should be doing? So a chance to do that. It's the first time we've done it in that sort of open sense. I know there are people who in the community who do not want to be on camera, and that's totally fine. Who don't want to be heard, and that's totally fine. So it will be a Facebook event, and I'll put the Zoom link in the description, and a community post on YouTube as well. And so it won't be streamed. So you can come in. You can use a different name. You can keep the camera off. You can keep muted, and only speak if you want to speak, and no pressure to at all. But if it's something that you feel you might be part of in terms of praying, then 25th of September at 7 o'clock on Zoom. And if you look out on the Metal Methodist Facebook page, and also on the YouTube channel in the community link, Metal Methodist, in the community tab, the Zoom link will go up in there. And again, literally the weekend after, we're going to regenerate for the third year, which I think probably maybe the last year. So kind of understand we want to not recycle, want to kind of develop the program and not just keep doing the same thing. But we're not doing exactly the same thing. But that's huge, to be around that number of people, of younger people, from all different experiences of life and backgrounds, but who are totally switched on and just full of energy. And for anything that we think we might turn up and do there, I think I'm the one who comes away going, that was amazing, meeting all those people and just what they stand for and what they believe in and the stuff that bothers them and that they're willing to speak about. It's kind of the world's in safe hands. So it's important, and I guess want to do what we do and do it well, and hopefully it be of use to people who are there. So an opportunity to join together and to pray about it. If you're somebody who prays, if you're somebody who prays, you want to come and work out what it's all about as well, that's totally fine. Obviously, if there's shenanigans, then any Zoom bombing will be dealt with appropriately. No heavy petting either on the deep end. No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. And again, so even if you can't be there, if around that time on that day you just want to think of us, think about Mount Methodist, and think about, I guess, what we're trying to do, which is just create a community to talk about faith, in this case the Christian faith, but particularly hopefully create a safe space for people who have not felt welcomed or included, or that they can easily access faith spaces in the way that they encounter them, for whatever reason, in whatever way. To create a safe space where people feel known and named and welcomed and valued as the amazing custodians of God, and bearers of the divine image that they are. That was the notices. And now, before we go, just remember, counting the cost of doing the better thing, the loving thing, the just thing. We are not on our own, and even if people ridicule you for it, you are a child of the divine, and you carry that maker's mark within you, and who you are when you are authentically yourself is an amazing gift to the world.
The highest king, oh, will welcome me. I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me. Oh, his grace runs deep. While I was still a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. yes I am.
Newsflash. So breaking news. I can announce that next Friday on our Metal Compline at 6 p.m. on Friday the 12th of September, this year of our Lord 2025. Next week. Shut up, James. Yeah, shut up. All right, thanks, Howard. Oh, look, looks like Mark's wearing your hat. Sorry about that. Left a bit, right a bit. There we are. Yes, so we should be joined by a very special guest. If you look at this comment, you might be able to work out who it might be. But to share some very exciting news and to launch some stuff in anticipation of Regenerate. But just to chat about who we are as a community and the different gifts, skills, interests we have, and how sharing those just is a blessing to each other, whether it's music, words, art, thinking, reflecting, encouraging. So please do join us next Friday on the 12th, next Friday at 6 p.m. Until then, blisters and others. Sway from your Metal Compline. Sway for me, with me even. Metal Compline.